Well, everybody's talking about this moment. Let's talk about this moment real quick. So here's Joe Biden, and Joe Biden was asked a question about the legacy of slavery.
He's the front runner, everybody. Now,
Hey,
come on.
listen, swallow it. Swallow it. That's such a great campaign slogan. Swallow it and vote for Joe. So here's the short version of what he said.
We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help. They don't know quite what to do. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear.
Make sure you put hot coals to warm up the bed. Make sure the family gathers around the radio at night. Make sure you have the Victrola on. So here's the long version of that. That's the short version. The long version is actually a little worse.
But can I say
Yes.
one thing really quickly? You have to remember that this is at a university that was originally an all-black university. So you would think somebody on Biden's staff may prepare him, hey, they might ask you some race-related issues tonight. Now, this is how this man responds. It's crazy.
Yeah, and by the way, I hope everybody refilled the inkwells for their fountain pens. All right, here we go. So here's the long version of that. Biden 2020, phonographs for America. That's his new slogan. Here we go.
Vice President, I want to come to you and talk to you about inequality in schools and race.
What was that? I want to talk to you about inequality and race. Pfft, I'm white and rich. Isn't that what it was like?
Vice President, I want to come to you and talk to you about inequality in schools and race. In a conversation about how to deal with segregation in schools back in 1975, you told a reporter, I don't feel responsible for the sins of my father and grandfather. I feel responsible for what the situation is today, for the sins of my own generation, and I'll be damned if I feel responsible to pay for what happened 300 years ago. You said that some 40 years ago. But as you stand here tonight, what responsibility do you think that Americans need to take to repair the legacy of slavery in our country?
Well, they have to deal with look, there is institutional segregation in this country. And from the time I got involved, I started dealing with that. Redlining, banks, making sure that we are in a position where, look, we talk about education. I propose that what we take is those very poor schools, the Title I schools, triple the amount of money we spend, from 15 to 45 billion a year. Give every single teacher a raise to the equal raise of getting out the $60,000 level. Number two, make sure that we bring in to help the teachers deal with the problems that come from home. The problems that come from home, we have one school psychologist for every 1,500 kids in America today. It's crazy. The teachers are retired. I'm married to a teacher. My deceased wife is a teacher. They have every problem coming to them. We have
I know, it's horrible. I know, it's horrible. I can't unmake out what any of us you're yelling, but thank you for yelling. I appreciate it. Because it makes me feel like you're involved, you're engaged in the show. Here we go.
Every single child does in fact have 3, 4, and 5-year-olds go to school, not daycare, school. We bring social workers into homes of parents to help them deal with how to raise their children. It's not that they don't want to help, they don't know quite what to do. Play the radio, make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone, make sure the kids hear words.
Elizabeth Warren's sitting there, record player, okay.
I can't wait for Joe's opening statement at the next debate when he complains about all the kids wasting their time on Atari. So, by the way, this is not getting the attention it deserves. He was asked about the legacy of slavery and what is our responsibility to do to fix it, right? You might not be responsible for slavery, obviously, but do we have a responsibility to fix what the legacy of slavery that people are still living with? And his response was kind of ridiculous. It was about how black people don't know how to parent their kids, and teachers have to deal with the problems that come from the black homes. It was kind of racist framing in a sense. Well, this guy tells you what it is. This guy, Anand Girandes, he says, is this not one of the most explicitly racist moments of all time in a Democratic primary debate? The record player moment may be what finally reveals Biden's bankruptcy. A staggering 2 minutes in our politics, America's gravest, most persistent injustice, recast as parental ignorance. Also, how can your main takeaway about African American community be that there's too little listening to music going on? If those blacks would just turn on the music sometime. You know, you can tell. Yeah, I love watching white people listen to music, by the way. You ever see a group full of white people listen to music? They're like, it's funny to me. He goes on. He says, it's a whole new level of racism to say that the way to repair the legacy of slavery is for black people to stop refusing to give music to their kids. This is easily the defining moment of today's debate, and it deserves more media scrutiny. This is the front runner, currently the most likely nominee. This is how he talks about African Americans, who are the beating heart of the party. Let's be clear, if you're for Biden in this contest, the casual, paternalistic, Mad Men era racism he flaunts, they can't parent, this one here is clean and articulate, and a nice looking guy, it's a deal breaker for you. Well, it should be, but it's not for a lot of people. And here's what Nina Turner says. She says, it will go on and the mainstream media will pretend it did not happen because the reference was made about black people by a Democrat.
Jimmy, I just love that strategically for Biden, he gets the question, he's like, ooh, segregation, I'm not good on that. I better pivot to something where I'm better, like how black people are shitty parents.
Right?
And then afterwards, like, oh, nailed it. I got the record player reference in I wanted. They say I don't prep, but I nailed it.
But you know what it's nice to know is that, Donald Trump is just like this ferocious racist. It's nice to know that Biden is kind of like this nice kind of racist, right?
He's avuncular in his racism.
Oh, watch your mouth.
I think that's the word.
My goodness.
I know.
Ooh. Got me tingly. Say it again.
Avuncular.
Oh.
The password is avuncular. Nice racist, avuncular. So here is this guy. He went on AM with Morning Joy or whatever it was called, and this is what he said. Here's what he said.
This wasn't someone using a term wrong. We just have to be really clear. The whole trope for like all of American history, when you have asked questions about systemic racism, what has been done to black people for 400 years in this country, the basic trope of racism has always been what you are observing is actually their own fault. And on Thursday night, Joe Biden, who wants to be the president of the United States and run against a white nationalist, reprised that theme and basically blamed black people's parenting skills and lack of music for the legacy of slavery. He has to drop out.
So there you go. He's not going to drop out though, even though he should, right? Okay.
I think he's got to be thinking, I can't believe they're giving me a hard time just because I said that black parents should stop smoking crack and start playing records for their children. It's a big deal.
Hey everybody, we're doing a live show every Sunday in October in Hollywood, California at the Sycamore Tavern. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com for a link for tickets and become a patron. We give you hours of bonus material every month. Become a premium member. Go to jimmydorecomedy.com and sign up. Thanks for your support.